Something I see most beginner UGC creators do wrong, and which is one of the most important things about UGC videos, is the hook. So today we are going to talk about what makes a good hook and how to come up with good hook concepts for your UGC videos. So first, what is a hook? So a hook is the first 2 to 5 seconds of a video where you're really drawing the person in. You're drawing the viewer in. You are telling them what the video is going to be about and why they should watch it. And it's really those first 2 to 5 seconds. That's what's considered the hook in a video. The hook can be a little bit longer than those 5 seconds, but like the real punch and like grabbing someone's attention needs to be in those first like 3 seconds of a video. So some hook examples for you. Did you know that 95% of people struggle to sleep at night? That's a made up stat, but that's a hook. Another hook is, if you like expensive whiskey, why are you ruining it with a cheap flask? That's a hook. Another hook could be, if your dog has a sensitive stomach, watch this video. So these are all examples of very quick audio hooks that are going to grab the attention of a viewer. So let me break down how a hook grabs the attention of a viewer. It's because it's speaking directly to their specific demographic. It's speaking to a problem that they have that they want to solve, or a desire that they have that they want to fulfill. So we often call these pain point marketing or desire marketing. And you want to get specific with your videos and with your hooks. I think people tend to think, oh, I need to be more general because it will reach more people, where actually you need to do the opposite. You need to niche down and have a hook and a video that is speaking so directly to someone that they're like, I need this product. Like, this video was literally made for me. That's what you want your content to do. And that starts with your hook. So what you want to do first when you are trying to come up with ideas for a hook for a video. First, obviously, let's say you have the product that you're going to shoot the video for. First thing you want to do is think about, who am I speaking to in this video? So, for example, I was talking to a student of mine who's in my UGC Accelerator program like 3 days ago. And she was just like, Maddy, I'm feeling stuck because I just don't know how to come up with the concepts for my example videos, and I don't know what good hooks are for this product. And so she said she was doing it for a beach waver hair tool. So one of those like heat tools that you use on your hair that gives it those beachy waves. And immediately I knew, I was like, great, I already have a concept for this. And I said, what problem does this tool solve for you? Or what desire does it help you fulfill? At the end of the day, people are not buying products. They are buying solutions. They are buying desires. They're buying some sort of change that they want in their life. And so you want to hit on that. You want to hit on the emotion of that change that they are seeking through buying the product that you are creating a video about. So for this, I said, what problems does this solve for you? She's a busy mom. She's a recent postpartum mom. Okay, so I said, great. So you're using this hair tool in the morning because it makes your morning routine faster. You're able to get out the door and get your kids to school on time while looking great. Your hair looks great, which means you feel confident rolling up and seeing the other moms at school. Okay, you feel confident going throughout your day. You feel like a boss bitch because you got up and you did your hair in 5 minutes and you look great. And you want to hit on those things of like, What problems does this solve for you? And then turn that into a hook. So her hook could be, if you are a busy mom and you feel like you struggle to get out of the door in the morning to get your kids to school without like your busy morning routine, here's this product. And so maybe a more concise way of saying that hook is, this is the one tool that literally changed my morning routine as a mom and helped me get my kids to school on time while feeling confident throughout my day. That's a great hook. Literally just hitting on the problem that it's solving and the emotion behind that. And even better, if you can link it to a personal testimonial of your own, of like how it has helped you or how you use the product. And then what you also want to have in your hook is a curiosity gap. So for example, in that hook, the curiosity gap is, ooh, what's the product? They want to keep watching the video because they want to know what this product is that solved that problem for you or that made that morning routine easier. Another example, and I actually just wrote out this script and hook for a brand yesterday, is I'm doing a comparison of a cheap flask versus a nice flask. And the nice flask is the product that I'm shooting for. And the demographic here is whiskey lovers. So people who like really like their high quality spirits. How I'm framing the hook is kind of a us versus them comparison of a cheap flask versus a high quality flask. So how I'm starting the video is by saying, like, you're spending a lot of money on whiskey. You know, why are you tainting it with this $5 flask? So for the hook, I'm saying one of these ruins your whiskey. The other enhances it. Here's what your pure whiskey looks like. And now let's see how different it looks and tastes after being in this cheap flask versus this flask for 48 hours. So I am immediately setting the scene. They know what the video is going to be about. It's about this whiskey. It's about these flasks. We're doing a test. They're set up. They completely know what the video is going to be about. I'm targeting a very specific demographic of person. So the person who's seeing this video is going to be like, oh, I know this is for me. And I'm creating a curiosity gap because I'm showing the flasks. I show you what the pure whiskey looks like. And then I'm telling you that we're going to see what the whiskey looks like after being in these flasks for 48 hours. So you want to stick around to be like, ooh, like, is it going to be a noticeable difference? Like, I want to see it. You know, you want to see this actual visual of this resolution, which I'm going to present at the end of the video. So hooks are really important because they set the scene for the video. They target the exact demographic of person that you want to watch the video, and it creates a curiosity gap that then you are going to fulfill in the body or the end of that video. So for example, for that hook, I then go right into the body of the video and I say, but first, let's talk about the difference. And then I hype up this flask, the good flask. And I'm like, this is why it's great. This is what it's made of. This is the difference, blah, blah, blah. Like, whiskey lovers need this. And then at the end of the video, I'm like, and to prove it to you, here's the results. And I like pour out the whiskey, and the whiskey in the cheap flask literally like looks different, tastes different. And in the premium flask, it maintains the flavor and color of the pure whiskey. So that's a really good example of a great hook that just engages the audience and makes them want to stick around. And they know what to expect from the video in the first 3 to 5 seconds of what I'm saying and showing them. Another great hook I can think of is last year I did this video with my ex, and the brand loved this concept and it performed really well for them. The hook was a green screen of me. So like I was in the corner, and then it was my ex opening the gift. And I was saying on screen, the hook was, boys are literally so hard to shop for, but look what I got my boyfriend for our anniversary gift. And so it's setting the scene. We know who the video is for. It's for women who are trying to shop for the men in their lives. And we are creating the curiosity gap. What is the gift that he's opening that he loves? And then you are setting the scene for what the video is going to be about. So we know that it's kind of an unboxing showing the experience of him loving the product and kind of setting the expectation and the tone of the video in those first 3 to 5 seconds. That hook performed super well for that brand because it's relatable. And I think that's something that you want to focus on in hooks, is being relatable. And that kind of goes back to like knowing your demographic and your audience and relating yourself and your story to the product. Is it's just going to relate to people who are like you and who live similar lives, have similar problems, share similar desires. So you want your hooks to be relatable. So a challenge for you today is come up with a idea for a UGC video. So whether you actually have a product you need to shoot for a deal, or you're filming example content, pick your product that you want to do your video on. And then the first thing you're going to do is just write out, who am I speaking to in this video? What's the demographic? What problem does this product solve, or what desires does it fulfill? And something you can do, you can Google this product, you can read the reviews for the product, see what other people are using it for, why they love it, what desires it's fulfilling for them, what problems it's solving. Like if you go to reviews, a lot of the times you will get those answers. And then you want to then just start kind of coming up with hook ideas from that. And you can also answer the question, if you like actually know and use the product, being like, how has this helped my life? How has this changed my life? How has this solved a problem? And using those personal testimonials and stories in your hooks and videos is great. And literal life hack, ChatGPT, like, come on, it's the best for helping you come up with hook ideas and video concepts. So what you can do is go to ChatGPT, type in, I am filming a UGC ad for this brand. Here's the product that I'm filming it for. Literally link the product page. And then be like, I am targeting XYZ person, and this is the problem that it solves, or this is the desire that it fulfills. You can also let it know if you have a personal story with that product or testimonial. And then say, can you give me 5 really good hook ideas for a UGC ad for this product? And it will. That hook idea, or that hook example I gave you with that whiskey, like, that was, ChatGPT did a lot of the legwork on that one. All right. And it's so good. And it's a life hack. Just ask ChatGPT for hook ideas. You just need to do a little bit of the base work of answering those questions and then giving it that. And it's going to help a lot. You can also ask ChatGPT, be like, can you create a curiosity gap? And then can you write me a script where I like fulfill that curiosity gap at the end of the video? I swear, you guys, like, ChatGPT is a game changer. It helps so much with just helping you get your thoughts onto the computer. It just helps you translate that into an actual idea and an actual script. And I can't recommend it enough. I use it often to help me with my videos and my scripts. So 10 out of 10 recommend. I hope this video was helpful. I think a lot of people really struggle with hooks, especially in the beginning. And hooks really are arguably the most important part of a UGC video, and I don't want you to skip over it. I don't want you to just do a very general hook, because the better your hooks are, the better your content performs, the more repeat clients you're going to have, because your ads are going to perform great for a brand. They're going to be like, dang, we need you to create more content for us. That did so well. And so much of that lies in the hooks and knowing how to really target an audience and speak to them and solve their problems and help fulfill their desires through the product that you're selling. Once you understand the emotional side of marketing, it completely changes the game. You're going to be 10 steps ahead of all the other creators out there when you understand that and are able to incorporate that into your hooks and your videos. Oh, that was great. I feel like I needed to get that off my chest. I literally had a call with a student of mine literally 30 minutes ago, and we had this conversation, and I was like, I need to make this a podcast episode because it's just so good, and people need to know more about how to create good hooks. So, love you guys. I hope this episode was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. If you want to become a UGC creator and get paid to travel, then my UGC Accelerator is for you. Fast track your UGC career with over 40 video trainings, live weekly Q&A calls, and direct access to me as your UGC coach. You'll get personalized feedback, accountability, and a proven 3-month roadmap to start getting paid UGC deals. Plus, an active community of over 100 other creators also on their UGC journeys. Some students have earned over $2,000 in UGC deals within weeks. And I have students like Lene, who quit her nannying job just 4 months after starting the program because of UGC. Or Katie, who's made over $12,000 in her first few months of pitching. Plus, there's a no-brainer guarantee. If you don't make back your investment in the program, I'll give you a full refund. So, if you're ready to take UGC seriously, click the link in the description to learn more.